Okay, here we are looking at a recent Sydney Morning Herald picture, a few weeks ago now, of Prime Minister Julia Gillard, the Prime Minister of Australia. And this is from the Sydney Morning Herald. The caption on the internet on the internet page at the Sydney Morning Herald said something like, "Does Julia need a knight in shining armour?" Well, just looking at the picture, she does look like she's being rescued, doesn't she? They could almost be seated on a horse in a way, if someone could draw a horse underneath them and he could be gallantly riding her off into the sunset or somewhere. She's got her sort of cheek sort of fairly close to him. He's got his arm around her. There's someone else's arm there. It looks like a man's arm with a watch on it there. She looks like she's being rescued, and, well, to me she looks like a damsel in distress. She does. He's got a sort of firm expression on his face, looking upwards and beyond into her future. He's looking into the future and ahead and making the way. He knows how to make the way for a woman, and she's protected by him. He's got his arm around her, right around her shoulder there, and she appears to be clasping him. I can't say for sure, but looking at the photograph, she looks like she might be clasping him or have at least one arm around him, but I wouldn't know for sure because a photograph, the camera does lie, doesn't it? Cameras do lie. And but she does look like a damsel in distress. She does look like she's being rescued. She's got a bit of a smile on her face. But when I first saw this photo, yes, I sort of thought, I think like most people, I thought, she doesn't look like a virago sallying forth. One expects, perhaps it's sexist of me, but one sort of expects the Prime Minister to sally forth like a virago. Um, there's something of romance in that picture. It is a touch romantic to look at. The man has a firm grip, and he appears to be taking charge. What's interesting and poetic about the whole incident, apparently, is that Julia lost a slipper. So she lost a slipper too. It's just like Cinderella did. I don't know who the ugly sisters were, but uh, or the wicked stepmother, or the fairy godmother for that matter, but she does remind one of Cinderella if she lost a slipper. One wonders if she'll go to the ball. And yes, they could be seated on a horse, couldn't they, the two of them? He's not ugly, too. I suppose he's got quite a dishy face. If he were not good looking or something, the picture might have a different quality. But he's sort of rugged and well built, and probably works out at the gymnasium. And yes, one must ask the question too: is she a fiery redhead or a damsel in distress? But then we have traditional, stereotypic fiery redheads like Maureen O'Hara. She's sort of fiery in those movies of hers, the redheaded Irish woman, but she's tamed by men. In the course of the movie, Maureen O'Hara is more often than in those pirate movies at least, she's tamed by men. She's fiery, but she's tamed by men. I wouldn't know if Ms. Gillard is tamed by men or not. There was one article about this somewhere that mentioned the possibility of Julia Gillard having female bodyguards. Now, would that have made a difference? How would the picture have looked if this was a female bodyguard carrying her off to safety? I have seen Asian bodyguards in Asia. I've seen women who know kung fu or some sort of martial art acting as bodyguards for important people, and I think they carry out their work rather well. But I don't know if such a picture with a woman protecting Julia would have been quite the same. There's a whole psychology involved here between men and women, and social interaction there of the sexes. And Julia looks like she's being rescued. And if she's a prime minister, if that was a male prime minister, would he be acting in quite the same way? Would he be clasping his rescuer in the same way? It just makes one wonder. I like to keep an open mind about things. I haven't decided anything. I haven't decided that she's not a virago, But I haven't decided that she's not a damsel in distress, either.